I, 21-year-old female, met a guy, 29-year-old male from Hinge in June. We had an amazing first date, immediately hit it off. We continued going on dates 1 to 2 a week and waited about 6 dates to have sex. I started to really like him and introduced him to all my friends with whom he got along really well despite the age gap. You might roll your eyes at this, but my friends and I are very mature for our age and act a lot older than we are. He moved to my city in the
We
beginning
are
of the
rolling our eyes at that.
Yeah,
And you will too when you're 30.
yeah, and it's also like the jump from 21 to 25 in just things is just a jump. And I know you're
It's
mature.
a huge
and
leap.
I know you guys wear blazers when you go out and you're very
Well,
old.
everybody thinks they're mature when they're young because they don't have the experience of being older. So why
Sure.
else would they think otherwise?
He moved to my city in the beginning of the summer. Okay, that's important. You met on Hinge in June. You moved to your city in the beginning of summer. So the timelines match up as far as, when you guys started dating and when he moved to. This is an important thing. Moved to my city in the beginning of the summer to begin his residency program, which is 4 years. I am now in my last year of college and in the process of applying for law school for fall 2022. This is relevant information for later on. Last Friday, we went to a concert with my best friend and her boyfriend, both of whom he has met a few times. I went back to his place after, had amazing sex. I slept over, had morning sex, then I got ready to leave because he had to get ready for work. After he walked me to the door, he said he would text me when he was out of work and see if we could meet out with our friends later that night. I was happy and excited to see him again. Well, he never ended up texting me, so I just assumed he got caught up with his friends, and I didn't want to bother him, thinking I would see him very soon anyways. Sunday rolls around, and still no text. Late Sunday night, I decided I would text him and see how the rest of this weekend was, in hopes of him asking me to do something within the next day or two. I woke up on Monday to this text, see attached. Okay. Okay, so you be her, I'll be him.
Yes. Hey, how was the rest of your weekend?
Hey, it was good. Although, if I'm being honest, something has been bothering me since Friday. Even though I had fun when Blank told me he was 20, it kind of made me feel out of place, much older. The next day, we had whole situation. The next day, we whole situation made me really take pause and consider whether or not this whole thing is viable, especially since I'm turning 30 soon. You might be leaving for law school, etc. I don't know if I'm getting too much in my head about it, but I need some time to just think things through and being intentional about what I want in my actions.
Hey, that's sad to hear because I really enjoyed hanging out with you and talking to you. I do kind of think you're getting in your head about it. I never felt like you're too much older than me. When we're just hanging out, and honestly, I never think about your age. But I guess I can't change how you feel. Take your time, and thanks for being honest with me. Actually, not a bad response.
It's a pretty good response. And also, her response is the response of a 21-year-old in this situation. Like, to her, she's like, this is great. What's the difference? We like the same TV shows. But to him, I can understand where he's like, your friend said he was 20 and I had to buy him beer at the concert. Like, like I can understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh. Like, even if someone was 27, I'd be like, you're too young.
I mean, relationships happen on the couch and in the real world. I can understand how on the couch, it was great. I can understand that. I can understand how you got along. You had great sex. It was all hunky-dory. He's in college, too, because he's in residency. So there's like, you're still in that kind of school mindset. He understands college. I can understand why this all connected. I can also understand the minute you get out into the real world, you go to a concert, and this friend is like, hey, man, can you buy me a beer? My fake won't work. And you're like, oh, what the fuck am I doing? So I can understand that as well. I was extremely shocked by his text and had no idea he felt that way. He has known my age all along. Yeah, I don't doubt that he's known your age all along. Considering we met on Hinge and I talk about my classes, law school apps, law school applications frequently, we had an amazing time on Friday, and although he's almost 10 years older than my friends and I, we all get along very well and it never feels weird. I am really sad that he's ending this just because of my age. We always have amazing and intellectually stimulating conversations. He tells me how much he likes me, how the sex is the best he's ever had, how that he loves hanging out with me, how he thinks I'm so smart and beautiful, etc. Do you think my age is the real reason for him ending things? Or is he just not that into me and it's an easy out? In his text, he also mentions that I'm possibly leaving for law school in a year. It's hard to believe that this is really a factor because I still have no idea where I'll end up, and it will most likely be somewhere close. Also, since he is only here for 4 years and wants to leave the city after residency is over, that aspect will always be an issue for him. What is he is he not going to seriously date for 4 years since he knows he will be leaving? I responded to his text a couple hours later, and we saw her text. He has still not responded to my text. Do you think he will? If it sounds like I should reach out, if he doesn't, should I reach out again, or should I let it go? I am really sad about it since I actually really liked him, and he's the first guy that I've met since my ex over a year ago that I could actually see myself with. I am sad that we have never got to talk about it. I really do not want to just let it go. But do you think I should? I would appreciate any advice, insight, and commentary. So what do you think?
Can I feel this?
Yes, please.
It doesn't matter what he says if as a whole he's saying this isn't going to work out, it's not going to work out.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So you got to move on.
People give reasons. I'm sure age is a part of the reason, but also it's not about your age. It's not about you and your age. It's about him. Everyone's more of a narcissist than we want to believe.
That's right.
This is about him dealing with becoming 30 and seeing his life with you, but really you are not, it's not as personal as maybe it feels. And I know it feels personal, but he's going, I'm looking out into the future. I'm looking at the future I want. I'm looking at where I am now in this relationship. Is this the right thing for me to be doing for me right now? Not for us. And you're thinking a little bit in terms of us. You're like, we go so great together. The best sex we ever had. You know, he says all these things. And it's like, yeah, I understand that you're hurt. And I do think you should reach out to
And by the way, those things may be true. It may be great sex. He may feel those things. I don't deny that. But I agree with you. He's thinking him.
Thinking him.
And a 21-year-old is very hard to accept in someone who is actually a mature 30-year-old in their life.
Totally. And listen, I could understand how this was a fine relationship. I can understand that you guys are on the same page as liking each other, but it's just, I can also understand this guy being like, hey, I don't see how the logistics work out for me. I need to move on. And I do encourage this person to, I think you guys could have a call, you could have a coffee, but what Mateo said in the beginning is the answer. Whatever he said, it was because it's done for him. There's no changing this guy's mind, and if you do change his mind, it will be short-lived. I don't think it'll be. But I think this is how a relationship works. That things end. You take these things. My biggest advice is like, you had a mature relationship. This might be your first mature relationship as a 21-year-old.
Right.
Take the things. If you enjoyed how he treated you, then that should be the bar for the next guy. And this is all kind of part of the learning experience. And I don't mean to I don't think I'm letting him off the hook. He took you on dates. He found reasons to bail out. But there were reasons for him.
Neither one of these people did anything wrong. She didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. She feels one way. He doesn't feel that way. They don't agree on how they feel. So unfortunately, it's not going to work out. But the person who wrote this, I really like, and they seem to respond very well. And everything they're thinking is completely natural and normal. It's just the situation, unfortunately, is not going to work.
Don't forget to like the video you just watched. I have many more. Subscribe to the channel right now. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, you fool. There's even a bell you can click to. Now you've got your week set Monday through Friday. I'm here for you.